Hi guys, it's Amelie here. This is going to be the second video on my new YouTube channel, Amelie_booktube. So it's a booktube, I wanted to start with another book video. So I'm going to be doing book recommendations, and these three I've read in about the last year, so I've recently read them, and they're not my favourite books ever because, as you know, well, you might not, it's in my bio thing, that my favourite book is The Hunger Games, and also Harry Potter, and also City of Bones, and also, we could go on for ages. Okay, so one of the books is one of my favourite books, but the rest are just like some books I really enjoyed, but they're not like my favourite of all time. So let's get started. The first book is The Host by Stephenie Meyer, author of Twilight, and I must, before we start with this book, I just want to thank Stephenie Meyer because I was never a big reader. I hated reading, literally. Like, if my mum told me to read a book instead of watch television, I would literally be so annoyed. And then I read, one day I was in the library because I was just looking for something to read because my mum said I had to read. And I found Twilight, and so I wasn't like, I had heard of it, and I knew that my mum had read it like when she was younger. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'll just try reading it. I know it's like a very popular book. I'll just read it, see what it's like. And then I got so into it, and I know there's so many Twilight haters out there, and believe me, I know Twilight has its faults, but it was literally the book that got me into reading, because then I read New Moon and Eclipse and Breaking Dawn, and then all the other fandoms started like being introduced to me, and I started reading, and then I read The Hunger Games, then I read Divergent, and then I kept going with all the popular books, but Twilight was the book that got me reading, and then I started reading like a book a week, and then two books a week, and then a book every few days, and I became a really big reader, and now I love reading, and it's like my books are like my life. They're the best thing ever. So I really thank Stephenie Meyer for that. So a few series after Twilight, I found this in Big W, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Stephenie Meyer, author of Twilight. I really wanted to read this book, and it was $5 only, and I'm just like, it's not in the best condition, and it's a pretty small book. You probably can't tell, but it's a really small book compared to like some other books. Like, let me just get another one. I'm currently nearly finished reading City of Heavenly Fire, and look at this book compared to this one. So it's just like, it's a pretty small book. But I thought I wanted to read this for ages, and at the library they had the other version, the original. Sorry, I keep putting my knee up. Sorry about that. They had the original version, but it had an eye on it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but my sisters were scared of it, so I don't want to borrow it in case they came into my room and they got scared. So I bought this version with the movie characters on it, and I've watched half the movie. I watched half the movie before I read it, but I fell asleep while watching it, and then I couldn't find it to watch it again. So I'm going to purchase the DVD soon and watch it. I'm probably going to go buy it today or tomorrow. So yeah, I read this book, and it's about, I'll just give you a brief summary of what it's about. So basically, aliens have taken over the world, and they're called souls, I think, and they invade human bodies, and they do this because they believe that Earth is messed up, because all humans fight and argue, and there's like murders and bad things. So they invade human bodies and try to make Earth a better place, but they take over it because they want a new home. And so they take over this girl called Melanie, but Melanie's real soul never leaves, so she still has thoughts, but the new soul inside her body, called Wanderer, is stuck with her, with Melanie still in her head. So it's a really good book, and in the end they figure it out. I'll just tell you that, I don't want to give any spoilers. But it's the love triangle is much more complicated in this book than in many others, because there's two souls, two girls inside the same body, and one is in love with this guy and one falls in love with this guy. So it's a bit confusing, but they sort it out. I won't tell you any more than that. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video for a second. This is awkward. Okay. Hi guys, sorry about having to stop the video. It's just that it was really bright in my bedroom, like the window sunlight was like really light. And now I tried to move into the living room, but it like doesn't seem that it solved the problem because now this window has really bright light coming in. So we're just gonna film in here now because I've already set up, but it's really irritating because I can never get like the right lighting. So we were talking about The Host, but I'm pretty sure we finished that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm very forgetful. So let's move on to the next book. The next book I read a couple months ago and I was sick at the time, so I just wanted a book to read. Let me just fix up the camera. I know like you guys are probably used to really good filmers on YouTube, and I'm just not that. I am really bad at filming. I'm filming on my iPhone right now. My camera has no battery, don't ask. So I was really sick at the time and I just wanted a book to read because like when I'm sick I either watch movies or read the whole time because I've got nothing else to do. I can't even eat, how sick I get. So I found this, I went on a shopping spree for books, like a book shopping spree, and I went and bought all like these popular books. So I bought Throne of Glass, Divergent, which I had already read when I went shopping, but I just wanted another copy. I also bought like, what else did I buy? I bought Eclipse because I hadn't finished collecting the Twilight series and just a few others. And I saw this and I'm just like, everyone is talking about The Fifth Wave. And I'm like, I've heard it's really good. I love aliens taking over the world books. I like sci-fi, how do you say it? So I like all that fake fiction and stuff. So I'm like, everyone's talking about this book. It's really popular. It's got aliens taking over the world. I'm going to read it. So I purchased it and I read it while I was sick because I had nothing else to read because I had read all the other books. And it was such a good book, let me tell you. It's about like, so there's this girl called Cassie and she's living just a normal life and she's in high school and she's got her best friend. She's got a crush on this dude and suddenly like these weird things start happening. So first like all the electricity goes out. So if you watch the movie, there's like a plane that crashes. I have the DVD as well. I love that movie. The movie of this book. But like there's a plane crashes, their phones stop working and there's like no electricity anymore, and then there's like, and that's the first wave, and then there's like a few other waves. So it says it on the back, on the book, if you get it, like, and so then all the first 4 waves happen. Like the second wave or the third wave, I think there was just like a giant actual wave that just knocked out hundreds, thousands of people, millions, and then the 4th wave, like aliens start invading people's bodies and like taking over them, like I said in The Host, sort of similar to that but not really. And then the 5th wave is, I don't want to really tell you too much because it might be a spoiler, but it's like people start the aliens try to make humans start turning against themselves and killing each other without them having to do any work. So it's a really good book, and then there is a love story in it. So Cassie like falls in love with Evan Walker, who is an alien, but he's like nice, he's on the human side. So this is a really good book. So I recommend it to anyone who likes sci-fi, we're here again. Or if you like just aliens taking over the world, like me. I recommend you read this if you haven't already because it's a very popular book and I think that everyone's already read it. And my final book for this video. I want you guys to pause this video and guess in the comments what it is. And I know whenever someone says this in the video, like hardly anyone actually does it. They just wait till the end and then they comment so they can get it right. But I want you guys to actually guess before I do it. So I'm going to give you a few seconds. Or you can just pause the video. So this is really a waste of time. I'm just watching the time at the top. 26, 27, 28. Okay, I'm going to tell you now. City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. Yes, the Mortal Instruments. How did you guess? So, I have not yet read the whole Mortal Instruments series. I'm nearly there. I'm more than halfway through City of Heavenly Fire, so like I'm so close. But City of Glass was like I'm guessing, I don't know, because I love City of Lost Souls and City of Fallen Angels, but like this is like, I think this was my favorite book of the Mortal Instruments. Also, before I continue, I want to tell you one thing. Shadowhunters, the TV show, if you're watching it, it's okay. But if you guys have not yet seen the City of Bones, the Mortal Instruments movie, the actual movie, not the TV show Shadowhunters, the movie, I recommend you watch it. I've got the DVD, so I can show you at the end. And I'll also show you the Fifth Wave DVD. But that is like the best movie ever. The casting is so good and literally everything is just perfect. It's exactly like I would imagine it, except for a few things like Simon doesn't turn into a rat, which is really sad. I wanted to see Simon as a rat. No offense to Simon. But yeah, they changed a few things, but it's such a good movie. Like the whole beginning part with the demon attacking her, and like I pictured that Jocelyn and Clary's house would look exactly like that. So it was like really well done. But let's get on to City of Glass. So that was, so City of Glass is the third book, because it says it there. And I also know them all off by heart. But, so this is about, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but this is about Sebastian Morgenstern. So I'm going to give you one spoiler. So if you don't want to hear this spoiler, you mute this video right now. Because if you've read City of Bones and City of Ashes and you want to find out the spoiler for yourself, just mute the video for, let's say, 20 seconds. So City of Glass, so Sebastian Morgenstern is like, you find out is Clary's real brother. And you find out that Jace and Clary actually aren't brother and sister. Spoiler alert, I know. It's like, I was so happy when I found out, because it's just like, Clary is not your sister anymore. And I'm just like, oh yeah, now they can be together, woohoo. And then I'm like, but who is Clary's brother? Dun dun dun. And then you find out that it is Sebastian, this really evil dude, who I hate. And if you read these books, you will grow to hate him too. Unless you're evil and you hate Clary and Jace, then you'll love him. But he's really bad. So you'll be introduced to this character. You'll see that he's hidden as someone else. You'll see that he is an evil moron who deserves to die. And you will see that a lot of characters are going to die soon. Like, seriously. I can't remember many people from the first book who are still alive. And most of the characters in this book were not in the first book. It's just like, things keep changing in this series. But this, I recommend not just City of Glass. My precious, I just dropped you. Not just City of Glass, but the whole Mortal Instruments series. So I recommend you read that, because literally Cassandra Clare is my new favourite author. I love her. But please just, can Sebastian die? I'm hoping he'll die in City of Heavenly Fire, because I have not finished it yet. So let's hope for that. Fingers crossed, arms crossed, my legs are crossed, but you can't see. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and I still have to show you the DVDs, so I'm not finishing just yet. Okay, so I promised I'd show you my DVDs of the Fifth Wave, and my hair's really bad, sorry, I just showered, guys. The Fifth Wave and the Mortal Instruments City of Bones, so I'm going to show you that now. Sorry, I'm like giving you a little tour of my room, which is really boring. So, here we have the Mortal Instruments City of Bones DVD. I love it. And then, I can't get it back on my shelf. And then we have the Fifth Wave, which it looks like some Disney cartoon with this cover, but it's cool. I can't get this back on my shelf while holding my phone to film, so I'm just going to come back and do that after I finish this video. And guys, so thanks for watching this video.